curious. Were the lyrics written in the form of a sonnet?
I don't know.
I hear birds chirping and crickets chirping.
You know what's so funny is that I think that I bring more info, to song, maybe, if I compared to somebody, and yet you have that one question that always I don't have the freaking answer to.
No, you do it to me too. And sometimes when you leave
that
question, I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't go in that direction. I hope he doesn't.
You start doing the Rodney Dangerfield.
You know, if you see me go like this, yeah. Hey, welcome back to Into the Music. I'm Chris. I'm here with Greg, and hopefully Greg's got something for me to listen to that is more than, average. So.
Don't I usually come through and give you something more than average? Is that why we're only at this amount of subs? We're not at this amount of subs?
You're getting greedy now. Yeah, it couldn't have anything to do with that.
It's because it's because I'm giving you crap songs. Oh, okay. I got to do better. So I'm going to give you I don't know if I want to give you anything anymore. It's just, it's not good enough. All right. This is the Verve. We've actually done one Verve song before. And this song is called Sonnet.
What was the Verve song we did before?
It's Come On.
Come on, what? Just tell me.
Come on. And so this one's Sonnet. And I'm not telling you anything else. See, you don't want it because through your questions, I was about to just open up and Oliver Donnell. That name might sound familiar to you because he just
he
requested.
Yeah.
This is a Kofi request.
Requests. Yeah,
this is another Kofi request, a copy request. So Oliver is asking that you personally listen to the Verve by Sonnet by the Verve.
That me personally?
Yeah.
He mentioned my name?
Yeah, everybody wants you to do. They don't want.
I must have said something negative about the other one we covered, and that's probably.
They're trying to convince you. Yeah.
Yeah, let's find one that gets Chris into this stuff. Okay.
No, you like that song. You like that song. Actually. Go ahead.
Okay.
My friend and me, looking through her red box of memories, faded I'm sure, but love seems to stick in her veins, Yes, there's love if you want it, don't sound like no sonnet, my why can't you see that nature has its way of wanting me? Eyes open wide, looking at the heavens with a tear in my eye. Yes, there's love if you want it, don't sound like no sonnet.
back from
Hey,
listening to the Verve.
yeah, nice to see you back. What'd you think?
I really like this song. This was a really good song.
That's it. I threw up my hands. I don't know any more about you, but go ahead.
You thought I wouldn't like this song?
Oh yeah,
Why?
very ballady, very
What's wrong with ballad?
very sonnety. Just very.
I was curious. I don't know what to say about the music. I just really liked it. As far as doing any analysis of it, but I am curious. Were the lyrics written in the form of a sonnet?
I don't know.
I hear birds chirping and crickets chirping.
You know what's so funny is that I think that I bring more info, to song, maybe, if I compared to somebody, and yet you have that one question that always I don't have the freaking answer to.
No, you do it to me too. And sometimes when you leave
I know.
that question, I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't go in that direction. I hope he doesn't.
You start doing the Rodney Danger.
If you see me go like this, yeah.
Hey, Cramden.
If
I'm not.
If I'm no longer looking near the camera and I'm like this, it means I'm looking it up real fast. Oh no, sorry, that's not on Wikipedia. I can't answer it.
I think you're on the money though. I think that they kind of wrote it like a sonnet.
I would think that there was. Why else? Well, no, he mentioned sonnet in it, doesn't he? Though.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But I'm wondering if they felt any kind of pressure that if they had the idea first and they thought, oh man, now what if somebody was like, hey, look at the lyrics for this. And they said, yeah, but don't you think it should be in the form of a sonnet? And they're like, oh man, back to the drawing board,
I would actually go as far as to say that he probably was inspired to write it like that, and that's why.
Well, if you actually did your homework, you would know. I'm just messing with you, man.
Right. So I'm going to tell you what I do now. So this is from
you do know. Okay.
This is from their third album. It's called Urban Hymns. This is the same one that had that.
Urban Hymns was the other one we took that song from, right? That we took the other song from.
Yes. And it's also the one that has the big hit. The one that they're famous for with the court dealings and stuff with the Rolling Stones, called Bittersweet Symphony.
Oh yeah, that they took that idea from the Rolling Stones and expanded on.
Yeah. Which the Rolling Stones would just what can I say without like being
greedy?
Throwing curses out there, describing them as being, they were just greedy, man, basically letting them sweat it for 20 years until they finally got their royalties and stuff like that. Ridiculous. But anyway, because that song was just there. It was a Verve song. It was a beautiful, different.
No, I'm not for plagiarism.
Gorgeous song.
I'm not for plagiarism, but these bands who want to claim these things, sometimes it's like you look at them and you think, wow, we could, maybe not in the same way or as explicit a way, but they've taken from so many people too.
Absolutely. And I love the Stones.
But you do have to draw the line somewhere.
I love the Rolling. I love the Rolling Stones.
That was really that was taken from an idea from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but again,
and like you said, they added their own stuff.
I took issue with the 20 years. I just thought that something could have been worked out. Add them as songwriters, this and that. They just basically almost drew a line and said, nope, you guys stole this and that. No. And it was only like a couple of years later. A couple of years ago, I think they finally just worked it out. And I think I'm just taking issue with more, the fact that, like you said, the Stones, and I love the Stones. And I love the rock and roll, the old, but they ripped off a lot of the old blues song, guys.
You gotta wonder
like that.
too,
absolutely.
I wonder if when they do that, if they're really offended that it's been taken from them. I think the idea, that musical idea was taken from a pseudo member, Andrew something, who was with the Rolling Stones way back then. So it wasn't
Andrew Oldham.
It wasn't, and he's not even around anymore, right?
No, I don't think so.
So they're taking, so they're saying it's them. It's not necessarily them per se.
Again, I think they had the right to question it and take issue with it.
Sure, but
I just think the 20 years that it's just
based on money. you know.
You know, that, and also, you know, we're the Stones. You guys were still up and coming, you know, you're not us, and you have the nerve to take that and put that in your song and see how popular the song became. That song was like almost on every
Right.
radio station, and it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. You know, it's one of the radio station songs that I heard all the time that I couldn't get enough of. I just love that song. So, you know, bravo to the Verve
And it was
for
really just
that.
that
Yeah.
main, like they did it with the strings in the song,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
wasn't the melody, it wasn't the actual singing
No,
melody.
and they and you know, the producers, the band, everybody were just they were on the mark with like the certain sound effects, putting, you know, certain tone to the voices and the guitars, and it was like a dreamy kind of with the
And
guitars. It was just gorgeous.
then again, it's easy for us to opine on these things without knowing the details and the nuances in the case. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's the
I
details.
followed it. I
It's
followed it.
oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I did.
I again, one more last time. I think they should have. I don't have a problem with them taking issue with it.
Maybe split.
Um,
So they ended up splitting the royalties. Is that what they did? Something like that.
Something like that, but it
Okay.
didn't
But they made them
happen.
wait 20 years.
But
Like
they
you
made him wait like so
said. Right.
long, and I just
Right.
thought that, you know, that was really unfair and uncalled for. Anyway, so with that said, man, but back to
Yeah,
this
I know. We
song.
didn't talk much about
I
this
love this
particular song.
album. So I have I have one of um I mean, I know some of their earlier stuff. So this is their third album. I had heard some stuff from the first and second
When did
albums.
this come out?
This came out in 1998. This
And
album,
you said this was the same one with that other song, with Bittersweet
come on.
Symphony on it?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This song, I mean, this album is from beginning to end. It's just a great album. You
Mhm.
know, I'm raising the bar, the whole thing, whatever, but just I love it. There's another song on here called Lucky Man, and I'd like to give that to you, unless someone wants to request that. But it's just a great album. It really is. You know, every song is different, and their first two albums to me almost leads up to, like, you know, how many times have we seen it with like bands, you know, a couple, maybe a debut album is their best, and then there's some bands that, like, you know, took that one or two albums and then boom, you know, then they had that
Mhm.
monster, you know, you know, like that was it. That was, you know, the masterpiece. And I think this is that for this band. And then that court case, the whole thing, or just this whole thing that happened with that song, I think it ripped the band apart. You know, from what I understand, it really was. There might have been tensions, whatever, going in, you know, at that time,
Mhm.
aside from that song. But I think this just did it in. Yeah, it's just a shame. But this song is a nice song. I always love. You know, I wouldn't call this one of my favorites of the album.
Mhm.
Um, but I like every song from the album, and that's why I didn't know how you're gonna take this one. You know, and you know, you're funny with some of that stuff too, like something that's a little soft, a little bit too, whatever, you know. Um, I think what probably, and then I'll let you talk a little bit more because I'm wondering this, the thing with this one, it's like a ballad, but
Mhm.
there is some rock element to this. You know, there's one part of the song where, you know, there's like a bridge, a musical bridge, and the guitars really come in, you know, and it definitely moves the song along, you know. So it never really like stalls or kind of, you know,
Mhm.
meanders, you know, as some ballads will do, you know, kind of clunky. You know, a rock band has to do a ballad. The producer that says, you know, do a ballad. You got to put a ballad on the
Oh, when
thing, you
it's
know.
not like necessarily their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that this was something that, you know, Richard Ashcroft, who is the lead singer, the songwriter and the singer, you know, I don't know anything, but I would just think that just from knowing the song itself, something that he wanted to actually do, you know. And yeah, yeah. So again, it just definitely had some areas where you know, it just had really cool guitars, and they could definitely play. And Ashcroft's voice, so they are from Manchester. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think Richard Ashcroft's voice is probably, well, I think it's Ashcroft or Ashcraft, but I think his voice is, I think I like his voice out of all the bands. And this is not dissing, you know, I love the singers from, you know, Stone Roses and all the other ones, Happy Mondays, and right down the line. His voice, I think, is so strong and so Yeah, I would actually take Alex Turner and Liam Gallagher and I would put them together, and I would actually kind of say that there's some of that, in Richard's voice. But and I say Liam because in some responses that we've gotten from the Oasis songs and to your constructive opinions about Liam's voice, leave it at that.
Thank you for describing
you
my opinions as
you
such.
you've wondered about like the way he's like and sort of his the way he accentuates certain, and people have come back and said, well, that's like the Mancunian sort of sound, that's kind of
I could
how
never
we.
visit that place. I'd
Oh
be like,
man,
oh my God.
yeah. Well, you better not visit because now they're gonna pummel you in the bar or in the
They
pub.
probably don't want to go to. They probably don't want to come here and go to New York because we hear our
There's
accent.
that guy from his music. The bottle gets smashed. Yeah. Pitchforks come out. Yeah. We're gonna owe you. Get Liam in here. Let him sing to him. We'll really show him.
I'm tied up in a chair. Liam's there singing to me. I'm like, no, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Oh man.
Oh my God. All right. So Oliver, this is a great request. This is a great request, man. I love this band. I really, but what I was trying to get at too is that the first couple of albums,
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to stop laughing at you.
That's where I want to go back and do a dive into that stuff. I don't, there were many years ago where I kind of tried to get into them, and I really, so that's where I can, people want to send us requests. Chris, if you want to do some homework, whatever, on those first couple of albums, and because I think that's where I can sort of discover the band, in the early days. But really glad you like the song.
Yeah.
And to everyone out there, hope you enjoyed this reaction episode. And if you did, please hit the like button. If you hadn't subbed yet, that'd be pretty cool. We are over 1,500 subs, man. We are hitting 2,000 very soon.
And you people from Manchester, don't be too hard on me, please.
And
to many, good fun.
Of course. They respect everything that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And with that said, we'll see everyone on the next episode of Into the Music.
I see y'all.